So last winter break, a friend of mine invited us, a bunch of his high school buddies, over for dinner. And this guy's really interesting because halfway through his high school career, he dropped out to become an artist. And what's even more interesting is the fact that his father was a very successful businessman and entrepreneur. So what's implied is all this kid had to do was stick through high school, get a degree in college, and basically would have inherited this multi-million-dollar company. You go to his house now and you see these eccentric drawings on the floor, scribbles on the wall, and every time we go there, we're just thinking, half of us would kill to be in this position, or what his position was. I think his dad picked up on that last time we were there, and we're all sitting around the dinner table, and he leans back and he says, "Boys, if you're a businessman and you want to be a businessman, then you can be the best businessman. But boys, if you're an artist and you want to be a businessman, you cannot be the best businessman." But to be honest, when I think about those words and I relay them in my mind, I get a chill down my spine, because what that implies is pretty terrifying. He's basically saying that your skill set, your intrinsic talents, your aptitude, limits your ambition so that you can only be the best in the field of what skill sets would bring you there. As an LSA undergraduate student, I see this all the time. People having ambitions in completely different fields. Somebody who's skilled in the arts wants to do something in the sciences and vice versa. And conventional thought doesn't really allow you to excel in anything that you don't have great skills in, whether it's society or academia, because you'll take classes and lack quantitative skills. You want to get to that certain point, but every step of the way you face challenges because you're not utilizing the things that you're amazing at to get directly where you want to go. And what's even more terrifying when I think about it is the fact that we face that every day as students. And if you really look at the most successful people in the world today, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, these are people who took convention and completely turned it on its head to get to the successful points where they are. Now, if you really think about it, they had skill sets, but were those skill sets and inborn talents really what they had to use to get to where they are? Not in any conventional sense. They had to find a way to use their skill sets and talents to connect with other people who had certain skill sets and talents, and eventually they became the most amazing people in their field because of the way they were passionate about what they did. And I guarantee if you ask either of them what their definition of success is, it's definitely not the money and it's definitely not the fame. It's the fact that they're not able to distinguish between when they're working and when they're playing. They can't discriminate when they're making a living and when they're doing what they love. And if you take success and put it onto those terms, all of a sudden the artist makes a lot more sense, because essentially he won't be successful on the number of figures in his checkbook, but rather the gratification he'll get out of the work he does. And what's even more encouraging is that if he's never deterred by these conventions that we set ourselves in our skill set versus who we want to be, he should never be discouraged in following any path he wants, maybe even become the businessman that his father is today, just because his skill set dictates that he's an artist. And isn't that what TED's about? Taking every single person's unique ambitions, resources, experiences, and throwing it into uncharted territory so we start making bridges. And some amazing things come out of that, using the full mind, both left and right sides of the brain, to tackle some of the biggest global issues. Life is just far too short to not be spending every single second doing what we completely love. And so we should ceaselessly be asking ourselves, are we doing what will give us a more beneficial life? Or are we giving ourselves the most beneficial life? Thank you.